Hi Libra, welcome back for your soulmate twin flame read. For those of you who are new, I'm a psychic medium as well as a twin flame. If you are wanting to make a booking, you can go to the link below, as well as any other videos that I host on my channel. They will be in the link above. If you do join us during the live sessions, I connect the energy of the astrology, the moon transits, any twin flame downloads I get, as well as your general reads. And during the live sessions, you're able to ask free questions, during the session and at the end as well. Now, I have pulled the cards ahead of time, and the interesting thing was, number one, video didn't start, uniquely enough. Number two, I am feeling as though there were several cards that were upright. There was initially only 3 cards upright. I did proceed, then realised the video wasn't going. So anyway, regardless of that, I have pulled a gemstone that is being drawn to your reading. Now, Black Onyx and Tourmaline is coming through for you guys. And through the meditation I did prior to starting the video, I was feeling as though there is an energy around you where you are assessing a situation. Now, you can own your power with scenarios, but you're absorbing and gaining more information. 1 card was up for your counterpart. 2 cards initially were up for you. I do feel the regret, and this is before turning the rest of the cards over, and I'll show you and hope I don't turn the camera off. Okay, there is an additional one up here open now. Now, with the cards, what is coming through from the 1 card on your counterpart side, a moment of regret. Now, I am feeling as though this is more current tense, not past tense. It's with underestimating a situation of where protection was required. Now, the protection is against energies of trusting that they had the best interest at heart, trusting that potentially people were understanding their need for healthy boundaries. And again, the energies can swap. It is duality, okay? It's the way it goes. Your crowning energy that's come through is you actually did foresee something coming. If you're directly dealing with your twin, you're following your sixth sense. You've got this card upside down. I wonder what will happen next. Now, it's in reverse, and I do feel you're trusting in the process. You're also not trying to get too far ahead of yourself, but intuitively you may sense something. Now, I've pulled a clarifier on that, and you have dreams in reverse. Yes, you were aware that something was coming, but potentially you visually from your third eye were not seeing it. Also, I'm feeling as though there is an energy that is occurring at the moment and potentially for the last few months where it feels like a block in the road. It can be external triggers, it can be external scenarios. You're aware of potentially what would need to change, but because there was infinite potentials with the 0-degree moon, you were unable to assess the dynamic as a whole. The first card you've got is setting your course. Know where you wish to go. Have a plan, the right direction. That was your intention, especially when it came to your twin. But now energetically, because it's the 0-degree, moving over into April at the 29-degree mark, potentially the way you were looking at things was cycling out and extra information was coming to you as you were proceeding forward. You now, I feel, have more information. I also feel energies, both parties are experiencing a nightmarish situation, and it can be resolving karmic frequencies, resolving conflict, trying to move forward into a balanced situation. I'm also seeing animal therapy as something that will anchor you in, and pay attention if you have animals, i.e. cats, dogs. They are picking up on your frequency, and they can feel vibrationally very receptive to energies around you, and they're energetically in sync with you at the moment. As I said that, I just heard a dog bark. I'm feeling as though there is a shift. Now, this shift is in relation to you knowing who you are, getting the direction, knowing your sense of what you want and your inner power, and you're being strict with yourself, but you're also being understanding too what now needs to happen, in a sense, to bring these situations to a head and to move forward. I do feel, again, it is a lot of manifestation. There were a lot of blockages in the lower chakras, but again, it can be the auric field due to the purge we had last year. Okay, your counterpart might not be feeling so great. And again, this is both the past tense frequencies. Looking back and potentially by the situations around, and I feel this first row is really going to correlate with the external influences. I do feel as though there is an energy where they don't feel as important and they're trying to raise their vibration in a sense. And again, I'm hearing self-worth. But it's also the energies of where people around them had caused conflict in a home-related dynamic. They potentially weren't feeling at home in themselves in the past. And working on that level from the ground up is building that up. But it's a lot of work to get there, so to speak. They had to build that frequency up. I do feel also a home-related dynamic or a family-related dynamic is coming up. And it's the nightmarish energy that they're directly dealing with. And again, as I mentioned, your twins, the energies can swap and messages can come through on both sides. You're having to, Libra, really belong to your own dreams, create your own life. And it may be that a lot of the void that was inside, you're understanding that in order to have your own dreams, which was very much the Aries frequency coming through in the moon, although it was a Libran moon, with the impact of all the Aries frequency, I'm feeling as though you had to come back to self. You realised through the process you needed to work out who you were. You also may be spending time working on yourself at the moment in May. But I am feeling a lot of this is a reflection back and what's going on in the here and now. Your heart chakra had been activated last month. Some of that also can be external situations that are affecting you, that are affecting the direct connection. Your twins trying to do all they can to lead the way. Now, this can be both parties are trying to raise their vibration and get situations under control. And I do feel there is a lot of duality going on here. Both you and your counterpart are looking at self, okay? Both of you are doing this. One is moving in a way to deal more with the internal, and I have mentioned this before. One party at a frequency level is looking at the 5D. This yawning always comes through when there's issues surrounding the external. Leading the way, your twin is having to do certain things and perhaps lead by example and work out what they want to move this situation forward. And again, as I said, the energies can swap. Both of you are in decision mode and assessing it. Your twin also has an energy where they are controlling their emotions more. They're more anchored in and receptive and visually seeing things differently now in a perspective sense. You're concerned about the dynamics of the frequency because you feel there may be a cost to your happiness. And it feels more, again, past tense. It may be that you're spreading yourself too thin and that you're needing to balance yourself. It also may be that you're feeling quite alone in this transformation due to all the connections and the things demanding upon you and your connection and or you in general. connections. Everything having a price. It's a mindset. I do feel, again, it's coming back to self-worth and the solar plexus. You're rising it, but you're also visually seeing what's going on, and it's, I wouldn't say it's causing conflict. It's causing frustration. Your twins avoiding any odd energies. They potentially might not be seeing it. And this is why further down a moment of regret has come up for them. I do feel as though they have been as busy that they haven't noticed what actually is going on. They also haven't felt as grounded. And because they've been working on their base foundation, other things are going by the wayside. With this regret that your counterpart's having. Again, I was channeling that this is past tense. It's with someone that they're not talking to any longer, and I'm not feeling it's you. Wonder what this card will be. I'm hearing crosswise, and I'm also hearing crossing paths, crossing ships in the night. How do I put it? They're being very harsh on themselves, but at the same time, they're not talking about it. It can be guilt that they're feeling about things of a karmic level that they're trying to end out. But they're also knowing that in the bigger picture, living there may feel lackluster. They're not speaking it, but this also can be regret. I keep hearing birthday. Yeah, I keep hearing birthday. I'm going to pull a clarifier. What is this energy? What is this regret? I feel as though they're really wishing that things could have turned out differently. Oh. They're looking at you and they're thinking if they had made different decisions, they feel everything's a mess. They also still want the connection. And this is with you. But at the same time, the issue surrounding them and the regret is due to the fact that they're still tying up loose ends. And this is why energetically I'm feeling the black onyx is coming through in the duality of this reading. They're raising their vibration and they're understanding that everything's a process. They are greatly remorseful for what's gone on. And the remorse can be in the way that both parties have potentially been blocked, been triggered. So again, like I said, the energies can swap, but there is one energy coming through with grave regret, another with the energy of waiting patiently, but frustrated with the delay. Both parties are doing the very best they can. Your counterparts are not enjoying this process. They want you to know that. They're trying to ground and anchor in this whole situation so it can move forward freely. Although they're needing to keep going, they can't see the end. They're like, when is this going to end? When is it going to end? They're painting a beautiful picture, but they are afraid inside, but they're still proceeding forward regardless. And again, managing to be glad in reverse. I do feel this family-related dynamic is causing a lot of issues. They've got a lot of base chakra. The choices they're needing to deal with aren't about the connection. They're about releasing situations, finding closure, and proceeding forward. They also are concerned that they don't want to lose their path, their destiny, their energy. Libra. Yeah, you have no intent to continue like odd vibrations. You're aware of manipulative external energies. I do feel you need to anchor your energy in, but I do feel as though you're not believing in everything you hear. And I don't feel this is connected to your twin. I feel this is connected to external individuals or hearsay. You also know that there are things that you can't change, and both parties are holding regret. The regret is that life isn't a bed of roses, and it's really this sadness that some of the hopes and dreams you potentially had together have expired, but new ones are to be realised. You also know that although you're concerned about making everyone happy, you know, it is a choice. But at the same time, you're sort of looking at it with great love. But at the same time, I do feel you're ready to make a choice and direction. You're sort of hoping that your counterpart is going to understand. But you're also in awareness that they have free will, so you're not pushing the bill. You're uninspired by lower frequency energies, and I feel both of you are feeling this frequency. Both of you are sure about the connection, I'll say that. When grounded, it's not that. Right now I'm feeling there are external situations. You're wanting to come to a place where you're not needing to get grounded anymore, that you can have that rest and recuperation. It can potentially be a getaway for the both of you, or connection and communication. And I do feel there may be conversations in relation to the past. There may be scenarios that you're going to discuss in relation to that. And I do feel it potentially for those of you who are not communication could be. It also can be communication about children or a child, and dealing with the 3D nature of what's in front of you. Yeah, you're wanting some room away from toxic energies. This can be karmic individuals as well. You want to have the pleasure before you grow old. You want to have this anchored in energy and connection before you're old. And I do feel your twin is actually feeling this vibration. I do feel they're very busy. They're doing the work, and they're really, how do I put it? They're not doing things to spite themselves anymore. And I'm hearing, although they're not doing things to spite themselves, I just heard a song. Despite of my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. It's like it feeling like they're chasing their tail to fix scenarios, to clear things up, to free themselves, knowing that they've got this path in mind, getting concerned about it due to their fatigue. And it can be that they're needing to have a break and anchor their energy in. Impossible things are possible. This is the energy between you. Both energies, if anchored in, can actually move mountains. There is going to be fresh energy coming through. I do feel this is, how do I put it? It almost feels like with the cards that have moved on the table earlier, and I mentioned it in the first video, I didn't mention it now. When adjusting and sitting, the cards moved due to the table being knocked. The way they moved, and with the black onyx I selected, it was almost like something does come out of left field. This is crazy energy. A lot of dreams, and a lot, like you have the dream, you know that there is energy around you that feels toxic and discord. It's not you, it's not counterpart, it's external frequencies. You are trying to move through the waves, both of you, individually and connectedly. Yes, impossible things are possible, but it's a sudden shift. It's a sudden situation. This is very much, this could even potentially correlate to a situation that unfolds and bang, it shifts everything. So the disbelief and disarray is now that this situation has happened, okay, now we have some choices to make. What are we going to do from here? How does it look like? What does this look like? This can be information coming to you, feminine, or it can be information coming through in general within the connection. You're understanding the fact that both of you are different, but you're also understanding that you're very unique and dual at the same time. I do feel you're looking at other people now, external to you. That can be reacting in a very egoic way. But it's coming to an end. Your top card comes to a 7. I'm working, sorry. 7 is connected to July. The energy that's coming through for you understanding the external energy and the situation that's going to unfold, I do feel it's coming to an end being a 5, and I do feel it's this month. The feminine energy in this connection is coming back to self and really building it and manifesting it. A lot of heart chakra and throat chakra activation. It can also be moving away from a karmic parent figure or childhood wounds. Knowing that that situation now no longer serves you to move and proceed forward. No longer fearing the situation, moving fiercely forward. And I do feel this is a sharp event. Your card is knowing the limitless energy, and I do feel, again, it's ready to fly, ready to move this situation forward, ready to look at it from a very different perspective. I do feel the energy of something coming at left field and it really shaking the situation up. As I said, be it you're in reunion, communication, or separate, something's shifting. World within worlds, ending of a cycle. It is going to feel out of balance. It is going to help both parties be free. It's going to assist you to move forward. And it is going to be full on. World within worlds. That's how the table looked. The cards shifted. And it was every single one of them on an angle, like something come in and changed the situation. And it does feel like a surprise, and especially with the dream card in reverse being similar to a nightmare. And sensing something, your sixth sense will tell you when this is coming. This is in relation to a karmic. This is in relation to your love life. I'm also feeling energies of taking the energy back to the way it was in the very beginning. But I do feel the karmic influence and a tying up of old energy. The lack of balance. Allow the masculine frequency in the energy to deal and handle with the frequency of what they're needing to deal with, and you try and attempt to deal with yours. Nobody will take what's yours, and I do feel your masculine being very protective. I also feel that both parties are wanting to purify and move this energy forward. Yeah, no regrets. It's like, right, okay, we've reflected back, we've assessed the situation. Dually or singularly, you're still in duality when you're working on self. It's moving it forward. Yeah. Yeah, ending a situation and moving forward. This is ending karmic frequencies. It will be very fast-paced. You won't have as much time as you think to actually deal or absorb a lot of the information. It will be reaction and action. This can be how it feels very much correlating with your twin. Either side, one party's energy is shifting. One party's energy is being an observer, but working on their own life. The other's energy is tying up loose ends. I do feel there is a frequency of someone trying to pull an energy of a counterpart back or manipulate the situation, but I'm not feeling that that's working. I feel, if anything, it's frustrating the situation and it's exhausting the individual involved. Bear with me, I'm still looking. You're mutely observing this situation. I do feel it's hurting you to visually sense it, see it, feel it. Now, this can be the separation, or this can be the direct trigger point of what you are seeing if you're in direct communication with your counterpart. You're feeling and sensing that vibration, even if you're unaware of the fact that it's their frequency. You also are intuitively tapped into it, and I do feel, even with the way the eyes are on the cards, a little bit angry, but silent, trying to get grounded, emotional and frustrated. Not wanting to go back to the old frequency, like thinking back. Yep, no. Feeling like being in the toxicity, the old frequency of the connection, seeing other people's energies similar to that degree, potentially the karmics, almost repulsed by that frequency. And again, I am feeling counterpart is feeling a similar frequency. But also not wanting to permanently be in that frequency of tying up the karmic end on your side or their side due to the energy depletion it's causing. These connections are trying to be resolved. You might be even asking yourself if you're crazy handling the situation. Sorry. Again, I am feeling with your crowning energy. The card is in reverse. I don't feel you're going to have time to think. That could be the overwhelming factor. It could be a very busy month for you guys. Again, I will be doing mid-month. Now, I am tuning into it, and there is a lot of communication coming in and out, but you feel the hidden energy of something. You don't want to know why. You just wish to remove, and you are protecting yourself. You're being very cautious. You're being cautious of what you say because you're observing and you don't want to manipulate. You also are visually seeing potentially people around acting at that frequency. I do feel, again, the animals are going to warn you, and pay attention to that. They'll start acting out of sort. They will vibrationally know, and it's the warning for you. Again, this is divinely guided. I do feel whatever's coming is to close out a chapter as necessary. And that these dreams that you've had, it's going to start moving the energy forward. And a lot of times when we manifest, and I've said this to my friend as well, we tend to, in an egoic experience, say, I want the white picket fence. And then a tower moment occurs and we're looking at it and we're saying, no, but I wanted the white picket fence. I should say want. Not understanding that the external scenarios of that tower moment were assisting with that white picket fence. Trust in the process even when you can't see why. Everything happens for a reason. Love and light. I'll see you during the month.